JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 3rd of June, 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. Feel free to check us out here on jfdbank.com, and yep, as always, click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is the German index, DAX, and we are falling below this hurdle, the one that I talked about this morning. So basically, what I was saying to you this morning, that if there is still a chance for this one to move higher, if the price continues to trade above this 15,569 territory, but as you can see, it fell below it, and now this kind of is causing a few issues here for the bulls. And I would say that if it stays below this area, below this hurdle, if the price stays below this hurdle, then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside. So keep that in mind. For now, basically, it's pretty straightforward right now. Like I said, if we stay below this hurdle, then yes, I will aim for the 21-day EMA initially, or maybe even for this upside support line taken from the low the 13th of May. Jumping into Dow Jones Industrial Average now, yesterday the index kind of closed a little bit on the flat side. We can say that maybe fractionally in the green, but still, I mean, that's not really that significant. But anyway, in general, what I can say here is that basically for now, overall, yes, we're still trading above this upside line, taken from the low the 30th of October. So any kind of move lower could be seen as just a temporary throwback here before another possible move higher. But of course, we'll keep an eye on the situation today and tomorrow. And currently, the cash index is drifting lower, so we are seeing that correction to the downside. We were currently sitting at around 34,400 level, so basically around 200 points below yesterday's close. But still above the 21-day EMA. So let's see if we can actually have a rebound here and a push back up. If we can, then yes, maybe we'll consider some higher moves here. But as I mentioned to you previously, yesterday, that I would like to see a push somewhere above at least above this 34,742 territory in order to go for some higher areas. So keep that in mind. DXY, so look at this beautiful move here to the upside, and DXY is on fire again. And yes, we are pushing higher, and we're pushing we've already pushed towards this barrier, the 90.23 zone. I talked about this one, and what I need here to see is a strong move above this hurdle, above the 21-day EMA, and then yes, we could see some higher areas being met, basically getting hit. So for now, long story short, basically for now, yes, everything's looking quite positive here, but can we overcome this barrier? Well, let's just wait and see. The Also, the main activity for DXY could come tomorrow with the US NFPs, so keep that in mind. But for now, it's moving nicely to the upside. So let's see if we can see a further move north. And I will aim for slightly higher levels if we get a daily candle staying above the 90.23 zone. Gold is not liking the stronger dollar, or should I say the gold bulls are not really liking the stronger dollar, and yep, we are seeing this nice little correction here to the downside. And this is what I said to you previously, that if we see a drop below this hurdle, below the and this 1890 territory, and if we stay below it, then well, I mean, we could start looking at some lower areas, lower levels. Initially we'll aim for that 1875 territory right here, but the next target here could be that 21-day EMA together with this upside support line taken from the low the 31st of March. So what I need right now is basically to see the daily candle staying below the 1890 territory in order to get a little bit more excited with the larger correction to the downside. Now jumping into Litecoin. So Litecoin is trying to make its way higher. It's pushing north here, and yeah, we're currently sitting near this downside line taken from the high of the 10th of May. So in other words, there is a possibility to see maybe a break of this downside line. However, to be a little bit more on the safe side, a push above this 209 territory would be needed, because at the moment, yes, we're climbing back above the 200-day EMA, which could be seen as a positive, but we're struggling with this downside line for now. But if this downside line gets broken and we see the crypto pushing through the 209 territory as well, which is marked by the high of the 27th of May, this would also place the rate above the 21-day EMA, and potentially more buyers could join in. So keep that in mind. Now jumping into a few pairs in NZDUSD. So I talked about this one this week, and basically I said to you, keep your eyes on this upside line taken from the low of the 1st of April. So this morning I mentioned this one as well, and basically what I said, that there is still hope for the bulls, especially if we get a nice rebound from the upside line. But as you can see, the rebound so far is not happening. I mean, instead we're breaking this upside line. But for me to consider lower areas, well, I need to see a drop below this little hurdle here, the 0.7151 territory, approximately around here. At the same time, we could see the rate falling below the 100-day EMA, and potentially more sellers could join in. So keep that in mind. But again, something for you also to keep in mind, that if the daily candle today stays above this upside line, and tomorrow we see a small little rebound, then well, maybe we're not really done with the upside. So let's keep an eye on that one. AUDNZD. I talked about this one this week, and basically I said to you to keep an eye on that 50% retracement on the Fibonacci, and as you can see, we managed to reach that, and we've overshot it by a little bit here, and we're currently holding on to this hurdle, the low of the 9th of March, which is around the 1.0711. So in other words, if you want to go for some higher areas, well, I would actually prefer to see a stronger move above this 200-day EMA and above the this 1.0729 territory, and then yes, we could go for a larger correction to the upside. But if the pair struggles to move above this whole area right here and above this 200-day EMA, then maybe this idea could work out, the one that I talked about from the beginning of this week. So let's see if this is going to work out or not. So for now, I'm going to stick to this scenario only if the rate struggles to bypass the 200-day EMA. Jumping into USDCAD very quickly on this one. So yeah, a stronger dollar helping the pair here, USDCAD pair, to move a little bit to the upside. However, as you can see, there is still a lot of bearishness here because we're overall still within a downtrend. From the shorter term perspective, we're still below this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 13th of May, and we're below the 21-day EMA as well. So that means that basically there is still a hope here for the bears, especially if this downside line together with the 21-day EMA continue to provide resistance. Now, we'll have to just wait on this one. If and to be honest, with the downside to be a little bit more on the safe side, a drop below the 1.2013 territory right here would be needed, and also a daily candle staying below this, could do the trick for more sellers. For the upside, we need to see, at least in the short run upside, we need to see a push above the 1.2142 territory right here, and then yes, maybe we could see some higher levels. GBPNZD, so pushing nicely to the upside. I talked about this pair, and basically what I said to you guys previously, that if we get a nice strong move above this 1.9609 territory and we see the daily candle staying above it, then yes, my next target could be this downside line taken from the high of the 29th of March. But as you can see, we might not even need to wait for a daily candle staying below this, above this hurdle. We already kind of got that push, and now the big question here is, will we reach, or I should say, could we reach this one, this downside line today, or maybe it could be left for tomorrow? But of course, let's be a little bit more on the careful side, and initially let's just aim for that this downside line right here. GBPCHF, also something that I talked about this week, and last time when I talked about this one, and I was covering it when we were dropping here towards this upside line, and I said to you guys that wait for it, and wait. Basically, yes, it looked a little bit more bearish at that point, but I said that for me to consider the downside, I would need to see a drop below the 1.2652 territory right here, which is the low of the 25th of May, and then yes, lower levels could be met, but we didn't really reach that, and instead we just rebounded from the upside line, and now we're coming back to this 1.2790 zone. So let's see if this barrier surrenders, and to be honest, not only surrenders, but can we see the daily candle remaining above this finally? But if we can, then yes, my next target is the 1.2917 territory right here. Now, Euro against the South African Rand, and if you remember a while ago, and actually last week to be honest as well, I talked about this one, and I was mentioning this level right here. So because it seemed that we were forming a possible triangle here, descending triangle, and of course according to all the TA rules, these tend to break to the downside, and as you can see, that happened. My next target was then the 16.676 territory, and if I said that if the slide continues, then the pair could go towards that 16.585 zone right here. But we not only that we managed to reach that area, but we won't manage to overcome it. And now the big question here is, can we see a further decline? Now, what I would say here right now is that if we stay below this hurdle, below this 16.585 zone, then maybe, yes, lower levels could be met, and we could aim for that 16.08 territory right here, marked by the low of the 12th of February of 2020. So keep that in mind. And finally, your EURUSD, so drifting to the downside, currently resting on the 21-day EMA. This morning we were slightly above that here, but said that in a way there is a good chance we could see a drift further south. However, I would get a little bit more comfortable with the downside if we get a drop below the 21-day EMA, below the 1.2161 territory right here, and if we see the daily candle staying below it, then yes, lower levels could be met, guys. So that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, and thank you very much. And like I said, well, If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Trader's Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful evening, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.